Hi folks, in this tutorial we will look at icy waste bases with cracked ice, barren vegetation and fresh snowfall. So, without any further ado, let's cue the music. To start, I'm going to apply some crackle texture paint to simulate the cracked ice. Here I'm using a Grell and Earth from Games Workshop, but there are other crackle mediums. With an old brush or a texture tool, apply some of this crackle paint to the base. The thicker you apply this, the bigger the cracks are going to be. Try to vary the thickness. Once you've applied over the whole base, let's leave it aside to dry. Once the crackle paint is dried, we're going to come in with an off-white paint and give it an all-over coat all over this crackle paint. Don't worry if some of the crackle paint has flaked off, we can fix that later. To speed up this step, you could use a rattle can of an off-white or white spray primer. This is a great idea if you've got lots of these to do. If you are doing this step by hand, please remember to thin down your paint with water to build up in thin layers. We want to get a nice smooth finish on this. Once the off-white paint is dried, I will then be coming in with a Mediterranean blue paint and thinning it down with a lot of water, much more than usual, to a wash consistency. I will then be applying this all over the base, and this is what's going to give it this nice icy cold look. If you don't have a Mediterranean blue paint, you could use one of Games Workshop's contrast paints. Make sure to cover the entire base, even within the cracks in the paint. We want to sort of stain the white with this colour. Once your Mediterranean blue wash is dried, it should look something like this. Once this is dried, we're going to go back to our original off-white colour and dry brush over this, so please make sure that your wash is fully dried before we start the dry brush. Due to the intensity of the blue, you may find that you need to do several passes with the white dry brushing to get the colour that you would like. You may also find that doing circular motions may also help soften the transition between the blue and the off-white. After about 3 or 4 passes with the off-white, your base should look something like this. You can apply more or less of the white paint in passes to get the look that you're after. The next step is to add a grass tuft to the base to show that there is some form of vegetation in this wasteland. I'm using Wardenheim turf tufts from Games Workshop, but you can use any tufts that you'd like. To apply to your base, prise one from the backing paper and then with a pair of tweezers position it where you'd like it on the base. I recommend using super glue to improve the bond. To really seal in that icy frozen feel, I'm going to be applying some Valhalla Blizzard texture paint from Games Workshop. Using a small paintbrush or a texture spreading tool, apply this straight from the pot and apply in clumps to the base, and this will simulate some snow. Do as much or as little as you like on this, but remember to try and leave somewhere for your miniature's feet to go. With the snow texture applied, all that's left to do now is to paint the rim of the base. I've gone for a nice neutral black colour as it really helps the colours and the details that we've done to the base stand out. And with that, our icy waste base is now complete. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so to get updates on new tutorials just like this one. I hope this has given you lots of ideas and helped you with your modelling.